Hello and welcome to the last week of Dig the Abbey. The major excavation has now been done and the remaining work will be smaller exploratory holes called sondages. A sondage is a deeper investigation of a small part of a larger trench. These will be used to look in more detail at features already exposed. The mound is looking more and more like it's a large spoil heap. It's a very old spoil heap that's yielding a lot of interesting small finds, but no Saxon burial chamber or treasure trove. There are, however, a few interesting layer patterns that require further investigation. Trench 2 now has a series of sondages that are exposing the edge of the exposed wall. The north to south running wall is possibly the east wall of the chapter house, and it may be that the chapter house was connected to the outer east wall of the cloister. The second wall exposed in Trench 2 is the outer wall of a further building. At this point nothing can be confirmed, but one theory is that it may have been the infirmary. This will tie in with the burial site found near Trench 3. In Trench 3, this stony area may be the remains of a path that was shown in an early illustration of the abbey. There is also evidence of backfill from the open cast mining that came very close to the abbey site. Trench 4 is now more or less finished, and it's very odd to see this, the first trench of the dig, devoid of people. The exposed wall running north to south is almost certainly the inner arcade wall of the cloister. This is supported by the discovery of the floor surface. The outer wall lies somewhere beneath the shrubbery. The wall running east to west is likely to have been the south inner arcade wall of the cloister. The outer wall seems to have been robbed out, and all that remains is evidence of rubble. Area A is now well exposed and still posing a lot of questions. Evidence suggests that there was a stone-built building, possibly medieval, the evidence of which is a solid and well-made wall. This building seems to have been replaced by a later 17th century building, which, by looking at the insubstantial footings, may have been timber framed. These footings appear to converge towards the earlier wall, and at the far end they merge. This is possibly due to the wall not being evident when the timber frame building was being built, and only exposed when the builders actually dug into it. They then used some of the existing wall for their footings, and built a fireplace into it. It was unsure where the stone drain ran from, but recent excavation has shown the drain turn slightly and follow the contour of the older wall. From this it can be surmised that it was connected with this building. All of the pottery from this area has been 17th century, so timelines are still under investigation. This area being excavated was probably an outside area, possibly part of a courtyard. Well, that's all from us today. See you next time.